Ika again. I'm going to do a quick tutorial over how to do a basic forward and reverse and behind the back weave with a fire hoop. So, go ahead and get started. And again, I'm not going to go over very detailed fire safety, just how to not burn yourself and do the weave. So, what we're going to do is do basic hand hooping, and of course, to do basic hand hooping, you want to make sure you hoop between your thumb and your forefinger, and you want to keep the hoop in that little L shape, little divot. So, basic hand hooping, you want the hoop to be going forward, meaning going to the left rotation, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be doing it on my right side. So of course, a basic weave, forward weave, like this. And as you notice, when I grab the hoop, I grab in the space between the wick. When you grab the hoop to do a weave, you want to watch how the hoop is spinning. And at the point that the hoop touches that little space between your thumb and your forefinger, in that little divot, that's when you want to grab the hoop. But you want to make sure you grab it at between the spines. You don't want to grab right by the spine, because if you do that and you go into a weave, you're more likely to burn your wrist. As you can see, right? As I'm spinning the hoop, grabbing the hoop near the spine, the wick will brush my wrist. And if it brushes your wrist, you're more likely to be burned on the inside of your wrist than on the outside of your wrist. And I have had some pretty nasty wick-shaped burns on the inside of my wrist by grabbing the wrong spot and going into a forward weave or whichever weave. So you want to make sure you grab this space between the wick to avoid getting burned. And as you go into a weave, you may feel like you have to move your body slightly, moving your shoulders slightly back to open the space on the other side. So you won't hit your arm with the wick. So, depending how long your wick is and how big your hoop is, that may or may not be an issue for you. So for forward weave, it's just like I said, grab between the space and do a forward weave. For reverse weave, it's pretty much the same thing of just making sure you grab the hoop between the space. Whoop, that was wrong. Grabbing the hoop between the space and not by the hoop, but not by the wick. And the best way to figure out when it's a good time to grab the hoop is when the hoop touches your hand. Look and see if there's a wick next to your thumb, or if there's a piece of plastic or the piece of your space of your hoop is next to your thumb. If it's the wick, then don't grab it. So, and behind the back weave is going to be pretty much the same as a normal behind the back weave with no wick, but you just want to make sure you really open up that space on the space on the other side of your body to give your hoop room to pass through and to give your wicks room to pass through. So, if you feel like you don't have enough space, open your body more, turn more to allow the hoop to move. So, that's just a quick way of doing the forward weave, reverse weave, and the behind the back weave with your fire hoop. So let me know if you need to have more detailed information on how to do that. And again, if you need any information on any other tricks, feel free to message me.